Hello everyone, I'm Matt Williamson. How's everyone doing this fine day? I'm great. Weather's starting to break, starting to really feel like the holiday season around here, as well as playoff season, which it sure looks like both these teams are going to go. And I want to introduce you to the Eagles and some things about this game, some general things. Newsflash, Philadelphia is really good. Really good. They got a couple weaknesses, but it's hard to decipher them. We'll dig into that more tomorrow with matchups and my pick, etc. Steelers, as you know, are 10-3, 2-game winning streak, but they've won 7 of their last 8. I think that gets forgotten at times. The Eagles are 11-2. They've won 9 in a row. That's the longest streak in their history. The Eagles are 5-1 at home. The Steelers are 2-1 out of conference, 5-2 on the road. Eagles are 4-0 against the AFC. The Eagles are 7-1 in one-score games. Pittsburgh is 6-3. However, Russell Wilson is 6-0 as the Steelers' starting quarterback. He now has 73 career games with multiple touchdown passes in a game without an interception. That ties him with Peyton Manning for 5th all-time. Wilson also is 6-0 against the Eagles in his career, including a postseason win, and 4-0 in Philadelphia. So while the Steelers are terrible there, they have not won since 1965, their quarterback has and has never lost there. So maybe that's something. Eagles have outscored their opponents by 108 points, while Pittsburgh is at plus 85. Detroit and Buffalo are the only teams with a better point differential than the Eagles, while the Steelers are 5th best. No one is better in turnover differential than the Steelers. Bills and Steelers are both plus 17. That's best. Eagles are only plus 4. So there, maybe that is a key to victory. I think it absolutely is going to be key here. The Steelers' 28 takeaways lead the NFL, and their 15 interceptions are 3rd best. No one has more than the Steelers' 13 fumble recoveries. The Eagles and Steelers have each only turned the ball over, though, 11 times. Only 5 offenses are better than those two. Eagles have only thrown 5 interceptions. Steelers have only thrown 4. Only the Ravens, 3, and Chargers, 1, which is crazy, are better. The Steelers have a 4-game winning streak going, or a 4-game streak going right now, with 3 or more takeaways, and they were plus 2 last week. Strangely, the Eagles have caused 22 fumbles, but they've only recovered 7 of them. Bound to kind of come back to the mean on that. I mean, that's just fumble luck, to be honest with you. BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, BetOnline provides you with all the action and ability to watch the games as they happen, with the largest selections of odds on everything from football, NBA and college basketball, NHL, UFC, MMA, all sorts of things. Head to BetOnline today to get on the action with America's most trusted site for online wagering. BetOnline, the game starts here. All right, let's talk time of possession a little bit here. Steelers, another strange anomaly, were exactly 30 minutes of time of possession last week, as was their opponent, of course. But the Eagles were only at 26-27. The Panthers did a really good job of possessing the football, running the ball, eating clock, shortening the game, which I think will be a big Steelers strategy as well. And the Steelers lead the NFL in time of possession. They're at 32-29. But the Eagles are 4th still at 31-39 themselves. At home, they're at 32-23. But the Steelers are the best team on the road in time of possession as well, even above their average. They're at 33-19. I think that's a huge component to this game. Turnovers and time of possession. Since week 6, the Steelers and Eagles both rank in the top 4 in wins and losses, point differential, turnover margin, and average time of possession. Top 4 for both those teams since week 6. probably should have led with this earlier, but the Steelers are the second most run-heavy team in the league. They only throw the ball 48.8 or 48.4% of the time. But the Eagles are so much run heavier, they're only at 43.5% pass. So these are the two highest run percentage teams in the league, but the Eagles are still like 5% more. In their past 3 games, they're only throwing the ball 38.7% of the time. And at home, it's only 42.3% for the season. On the road, the Steelers are just under 47%. So there's some strong trends here. The Steelers and Eagles each have 14 passing touchdowns this year. Only 4 teams are fewer than those two. The Eagles, they've scored 16 more touchdowns than they've given up, and they have 39 more first downs. They generate 1.8 more yards per pass attempt and have 1,101 more rushing yards than they allowed. 1,100 more than they have allowed this year. And they average just under 1 yard more per carry, which is a ton, 0.9 yards per carry more than they allow. They also have 16 more rushing touchdowns, and they're plus 85.7 in total yards per game. Massive. I mean, those are some scary numbers there. Now, the Steelers have 527 more rushing yards than they allow, but they also have 147 more rushing attempts. Lastly, well, a couple things here. The Steelers have, per EPA, you don't love hearing this, and I'm a big EPA believer. I'm not going to get into weeds with it on you. But the Steelers have faced the easiest slate of offenses thus far. But by the same metrics, the Eagles have faced the easiest slate of defenses thus far. But starting with this game, per EPA, the Steelers are now slated to face the most difficult slate of offenses going forward. And if you just go off win-loss percentage, current records, only the Bears have a more difficult finish to the season than Pittsburgh. You probably know this, but the Steelers clinch a playoff berth this week with a win if they win this game, or Miami and Indy lose. That clinches them a playoff spot. Philly's already clinched a playoff spot, but they can clinch their division with a win and a Commanders loss. So a lot of playoff implications here as well. As mentioned, the Steelers have not won in Philadelphia since 1965. But the Eagles are the only team that Pittsburgh has not beaten on the road during the Super Bowl era. They have a win in every building except Philly. All right, everyone, that's a wrap. Take care.